control, mid-range, aggro, combo. Long ago, the 4 deck types were in Standard in Harmony. Then, everything changed when the power creep attacked. Only rotations and bannings, the balancers of all 4 decks could save Standard, but when the world needed them most, they vanished. Felt like 100 years passed and WotC started banning cards, Monstrous Rage and Corey's Steelcutter. Although, they finally just banned Vivi, there are a lot of new sets that are going to have new OP cards. But I believe the ban hammer can save Standard. Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Kitchen Table Magic, where I showcase 60-card decks that are fun to play and fun to buy. I'm your host, and also the most zen of Magic players, at least for today, Aiden. And I am so zen because we are playing Shrines in Standard. And, well, you're going to have to be a little zen to try to make this one work, because that is definitely a uphill battle we are setting ourselves up for today. If you don't know, Shrines tend to be a very slow, very value, very, well, fun, but also a incredibly difficult archetype to play against aggro. And Standard is very fast right now. Standard has a lot of aggro, traditionally, especially in Best of 1 on Arena. So we are having to compete with decks that can kill you as early as turn 3 or 4. I don't think we have any turn 2 kills, at least not regularly right now in Standard, but we need to be fast. To that end, we've got a couple creatures over here in what I like to call our ramp slot. We've got Great Divide Guide, which also fixes our colors and is a nice beefy 2/3. Gene Pollinator can help us tap our shrines for mana and is a 1/2, which is better than a 1/1 at least. And Tendra Wild Guide can, if we cast it with its offspring, make 2 bodies that can continually grow if we don't have a use for the mana. That, in addition to our 4 sweepers, which is a split between Expel the Interlopers, which can save our own little mana dorks, and Beyond the Quiet, which gets around Indestructible. These are the sweepers of choice. Feel free to slot these out with anything else. We also have Boomerang Basics, which can bounce our own shrines to replay them for great effect, and a couple of Jace Reawakened. This is a little bit of a pet card. I really enjoy Jace Reawakened, and I don't get to play with it very much, so I went ahead and added it to this deck. It does do some good stuff in here, especially with being able to plot some of the cheaper temples. In the mana base, you'll notice we have almost entirely basics. That is because Kyoshi Island Plaza really wants you to have a lot of basics, and it really rewards you for playing that. And we have 4 copies of White Lotus Hideout, which lets us tap for 1 mana of any color to make shrines, which is absolutely critical because, well, we have a lot of shrines in the deck. So let's go ahead and jump into the games, and we're going to see how well Shrines will do in the current Standard meta. This hand is a little awkward. We've got Aang's Journey and 2 sweepers, though. So I'm going to go ahead and keep. We're definitely going to need to fetch white with Aang's Journey, which is unfortunate because Spirit Oasis is blue. We'll see what lands we draw. Healer's Hawk. Okay, we drew another Aang's Journey, so that's good. We're actually going to go ahead and get blue here. That will let us next turn cast Spirit Oasis, hopefully draw into some white sources or some of our mana fixing cards. Virtue of Loyalty. Interesting. I was looking for an Ajani's Primate type effect there, so I am pretty pleased at that. Oh, Kyoshi Island Plaza is very good. Our opponent also isn't putting tons of pressure on us, and even less now. So I can land into Kyoshi. Ooh, White Lotus Hideout. Like that. I could Crescent Island Temple? No, let's Kyoshi. Set up to sweep next turn by getting 2 white. There we go, and then we're going to draw a card from Spirit Oasis. Okay, we're getting going. Great Divide Guide is a good blocker. Let's hope they deploy a lot of things. Okay. Looks like they might not be. There we go. Yes, give us more things. So there's a little bit of a question here. Do I expel the interlopers or Beyond the Quiet. This will let us not hit our Great Divide Guide, but I think they're not going to have creatures with 3 or more power. So I'm going to do this, save the exile for later. Get rid of all of them, and then we'll Great Divide Guide, because that's also ramp. Next turn we can Crescent Island Temple, and we'll have 3 out of the 5, and we can Aang's Journey into more. This is the point you want to be at. Okay, Elspeth. That's not great, but I think we can just go over the top. So let's get a black. I already played a black. Well, we'll just do a green then. Okay, and then I'm gonna kick an Aang's Journey. Trigger Prowess, not that that really matters. And we will get a Southern Air Temple, and we will take a land, mostly to thin our deck, although deck thinning's a myth. We're just going to try to hit Elspeth. They're probably going to block, but get rid of a token. Gonna have to get through them eventually. We have no targets for the -3. Creatures enter tap, that's fine. Virtue of Loyalty, not really going to help very much, because they cannot attack successfully. So Expel the Interlopers is actually pretty good here. But we can kind of do... It will be big if they manage to get their stuff larger than ours, but considering we have the Southern Air Temple, I think that is unlikely. We're going to use this Jace to draw and discard since we have a few too many lands. So draw, discard. Actually, I have so many green. I'll discard the green. And then we will attack Elspeth. Actually, do I really care about her right now? They could do a lot of things. Yeah. But I could also threaten lethal. I think we're favored here. Let's threaten lethal. I don't really... Elspeth is doing a lot for them. Oh, okay. A little more than a threat, I suppose. Well, sometimes you have to block. This hand is a little bit rough, but we have ramp. We've got a very good shrine, so we're gonna keep it. Don't like how many lands there are. I also don't like going second, but can't really do much about that now. Opponent might be going pretty quick here. Kyoshi Island Plaza is a good draw. I'm gonna play a Tender Wild Guide. I think kicking an Aang's Journey is more valuable than offspringing the Tender Wild Guide. Honestly, he's mostly in here just because he's so freaking cute. Okay, they're gonna Sheltered by Ghosts. That's... Team Avatar. Interesting card in this deck. I mean, it's working for them right now, but we're also not putting up too much of a fight. Let's just start deploying our stuff. There really isn't anything else we can do. Ooh, that's good. Team Avatar generally wants a go wide, like, strategy, so we'll see if our opponent plays into that. Okay, not really doing anything. Play our Kyoshi Island Plaza. Our life total's getting a little bit low, but honestly we don't really have a choice here. Okay, let's get... We already have double white, we need double blue, and we would really like black for some life gain. Gene Pollinator, it's a blocker. I can expel the interlopers into Gene Pollinator. I mean, or the other way around. I'm surprised our opponent isn't doing more here. will have enough to pay for a quench. Even though it is the quenchiest, as they say. Let's go ahead and do this now. Unless they have a negate, that would feel pretty bad. But at least we can throw down a blocker, even if they do. Alright. And we get our wild guide back. Do I play the pollinator? Or do I just hold? I'm gonna play the pollinator. I'd be surprised if they had the sweeper. They might, but... Nothing. Okay. Let's start searching up our shrines. We're gonna go with the Northern Air Temple, and we'll take a red here. Okay, Northern Air Temple. Our opponent's gonna lose some life. We're gonna get some more cards. Our opponent seems to want to play the long game, which is the wrong thing to do against shrines. If you're playing against shrines, regardless of what your deck normally wants to do, you need to go quick. So Gene Pollinator is in here because you can tap down your shrines to basically make mana. Okay, let's get the Crescent Island Temple, and we will, I guess, white. We're coming to the point where we have all our colors, so it doesn't really matter. Do I attack? No. There's plenty of white cards about attacking. I don't think they have haste, but they could have flash. So this is both a blocker and it can grow. They might just be about to kill it. Okay. Stasis Snare. It has flash, so I feel as though they should have waited, but it's okay. I don't really mind them getting rid of the wild guide here. That's one of the big advantages of this deck, is that most people in the current meta absolutely are not expecting it. Play our Crescent Island Temple, make a whole bunch of monks, and we will throw down another blue, draw a card. Ooh, another Spirit Oasis. I'm gonna keep that in hand, and I'm just gonna kick an Aim's Journey. Let's grab ourselves a... Do I even want to take a land out of the deck? I guess I might as well. I do want to draw non-land cards, so... Do I Spirit Oasis here? No. No. We need to start thinking about closing out the game. I don't want them to sweep this board, because if they don't, we can probably... Yep. Okay. Alright. This hand feels pretty good. We're going to Great Divide Guide, hopefully into one of our shrines. If they kill it, we can greenhouse to fix our mana. So double mana fixing is never really a bad thing. Play the Great Divide Guide, see if Golgari is going to kill it. Bloodghast. Okay, they could be a combo deck with the... What is it? Beifong Bounty Hunters? Let's go ahead and get some little blockers. Do we chump block with these? Normally I would say yes. Oh, yep, there it is. There it is. So the Beifong Bounty Hunters with Bloodghast is an infinite combo, because the Bloodghast dies, the Beifong Bounty Hunters bring it back. I'm not going to block here. And then when this enters, they Earthbend, as long as you have a sack outlet. So you sacrifice this, Earthbend, bring it back. So it's infinite sack outlet. They need two different pieces. They need a sack outlet, they need the Beifong Bounty Hunters, and I guess they need like a Vengeful Blood Witch to do it. So we're okay for now. I'm going to go ahead and play the Southern Air Temple. This is actually going to be quite good here. So we're putting pressure on them. We'll see how quick they can get everything out. Beifong Bounty Hunters is 4. Okay, there's their sack outlet. There's their Vengeful Blood Witch. So all they need now is the Bounty Hunters. And they didn't take it with the Dredger's Insight, so I would be surprised if they didn't have it. However, we can force them to get rid of one of their pieces. Possibly both. How do I want to do this? Do I attack and then exile the interlopers? Let's see, if I Southern Air Temple, yeah, that forces them to block. And sets us up to win, if not this turn, next turn. It won't be this turn because they will be able to block enough, but just barely. Double blocking. Okay. Well, I guess I had to double block. That's why we did the whole thing we did. So now they have no combo pieces. Although I guess Dredger's Insight does give them infinite life. So all they need is a Umbral Collar Zealot and the Bounty Hunters. And then they can gain, theoretically, infinite life. Yeah. Yep. We were just too fast. Welcome to the end of the video. Thanks for watching this far. If you saw these games, then you know that shrines, well, they actually are better than I thought. I didn't think I would be saying it at the end of the video. I really thought that shrines were just going to be absolutely stepped on, stomped, just demolished with how standard is, but either we were able to dodge the decks that would have stomped us, or maybe shrines are just better than we thought. I mean, the Southern Air Temple and Crescent Island Temple combo lets you put tons of creatures out and make them very big very quickly, which is an excellent and very quick finisher. All of our other temples kept doing work, and Boomerang Basics to bounce, especially the Northern Air Temple, was just an absolutely amazing piece of interaction that really helped us. And Boomerang Basics, of course, is also a decent removal spell on its own. This left side of cards here are some that I was a little bit disappointed by, and I think I will, in the future, be making a Shrines video where I replace these with some other archetype as well, kind of mesh two half archetypes into one, as long as they work together. Maybe towns, something like that. Let me know down in the comments if you have something you think would work really well with shrines, towns, warp, whatever it may be, and maybe I'll give it a shot, and we'll see if we can together make a very competitive shrine list. Will you win tournaments with this? No. Will you have a lot of fun playing this even into upper ranks of standard? I think so. But just remember, you're gonna have to be very zen, because there will be those games where you just get absolutely stomped and can't do anything about it. But that's kind of the case with standard Magic right now. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe so that you never miss it, and like. It really helps support the channel and just help me keep on making these videos for you guys. And if you think of a deck you want me to try, a pet card you want me to play around, anything like that, just leave it right down below in the comments, and maybe you'll get featured in a video. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye!